Hello, Coach Madden and Coach Kaminsky. My name is Carter Ball. I am from Cortland, New York, and I am super excited to come up to St. Rose in a few weeks to play some great golf, but most importantly, to push myself every day to become the best golfer and human I can be. As an introduction, I decided to take you guys out with me on the back nine of my home club that I am privileged to be a part of, the Cortland Country Club. This course from the Blue Tees plays about 6,400 yards. Being par 36, 36, 72, the Cortland Country Club is known for its very narrow fairways, teaching the golfer to be very straight off the tee, and most importantly, disciplined. During my golf career, I have shocked nearly everyone that I've played with that asked me this similar question. When did you start playing? Well, I started playing about a month before 10th grade. Here is hole number 10, par 4. Because of my late arrival into the golf game, I had to develop a very natural and athletic swing. Starting off golf, I was a huge slicer of the golf ball, but now I have it dialed down to a controllable, consistent fade. For my second shot here, the pin was in the back, and I had about 163 yards. I choked up with a 7-iron.
It must have went over or in.
I think it went in.
Unfortunately, when I was transferring the videos over here, it lost graphic quality. But
Eagle, baby.
that actually went in for an eagle start. Usually when the camera comes out, some people can't perform. But the golf gods had other plans for me today. The 11th hole is a 509-yard par 5 with out of bounds on the left. Because I fade the golf ball, I usually aim on the left side of the fairways on holes. But because of the out of bounds being left, I aim a little bit center. For this shot, I had about 250 yards left, and instead of going for it, I just put a 4 hybrid up there to leave myself in a good position for my third shot. For this shot, I have about 60 yards to a front pin. So, I take a 56 and kind of hit a high spinning pitch shot. I went past the hole, leaving myself with about 15 feet for my birdie putt. When putting, I am a huge fan of feel. I'll get behind my ball, and once I'm confident in the line, I'll step up to the side of the ball and make a few practice strokes to fall in love with the putt and to confidently commit myself to my line. And it just drips in. Now, we move on to the 12th hole, being a 490 par 5. There is a little pond that cuts off the fairway about 265 where my driver lands. So, I take my medicine and use a 3-wood, usually every time. The blue tees are separated on another tee box about 20 yards behind the regular tee box. So, it makes for an intimidating tee shot. My lie here isn't good enough to get a 3-wood on it, so I take a 4 hybrid and try to punch it up there in the middle of the fairway. But I started on the right side of the fairway, and it gets a bad bounce behind this tree. The flag that you see in the distance is hole number 10's flag. The flag on this hole is behind the tree. I didn't hit a quality punch out, and it got caught up in the rough, killing it, leaving me in the fairway with about a 40-yard chip shot. Recently, I fell in love with this low-spinning chip shot.
Damn!
And now you know why. It's a great day to be filming for my coaches, and you always love one putt through 3 holes. This is the 13th hole, playing about 155 yards, and the first par 3 in the back. Right before I arrived to this tee, my rangefinder died, and I don't have a yardage book, so we're going old school for the rest of the round. As you can hear my dad say on the tee box, Stay away from the short side miss. This par 3 pin was set up right behind a bunker, asking for trouble. So I just took my medicine and hit a straight shot at the middle of the green. Looking back at this video of that putt, it is rather disappointing because you can clearly see that the undulation is higher on the left than right, and I read that putt right to left. I have a little meat left on the bone for this par putt, and I just firm it in there. And as soon as that ball went into the whole round changed. It started to become very dark out, as you cannot see on my dad's phone because of the night assist he has on his camera. But before the last tee shot, my dad told me, let's just play this hole and be done. In person, it just became dark enough where you could not see the ball. But I told my dad no, because this is a perfect opportunity to introduce who I really am to my coaches. This is the 14th hole, par 4, 385 yards. And you may be wondering to yourself, Carter, how does this situation present itself as an opportunity to show your coaches who you really are? Well, I am a huge believer of the quote, the more you put in, the more you get out.
26 at night.
If you were to call the pro shop at my country club and ask the pro if he had to put a bet on who has spent the most time here this summer, who is it?
Oh, yeah.
He'd sell his house, go to the bank, and put all of his money on me. And the best thing about that is that I have arrived to the course in the morning hundreds of times before that pro himself has. So, he can still say that while only seeing half the work I put in. That birdie putt, I pushed a little bit past the hole, leaving myself with a little bit more for par. Now we go on to the second and last par 3 on the backside. This is hole number 15, playing about 185, back pin, so I just try to hit a light 6-iron. Again, I don't have a rangefinder at this time. There I am squatting down to see the ball, and it ended up in the right bunker. I have a good clean strike out of the bunker, but just a little bit short, still with a lot for par. These last few holes, my dad will now be standing behind the flagstick, so I'm able to see the hole. I was very disappointed with that par attempt, but now I have to clear my mind because I still got a putt for bogey. And it just gives it to me. Last hole, my dad had to start using his flashlight while recording because this is what it looked like without the flash. This is hole number 16, par 4, 349 yards. That's me squatting down to see my club face.
No clue, but somewhere in the fairway.
At this point, every ball I hit, I had no clue where it was going, but this is where my ball landed, in the fairway, about 125 yards away. I had absolutely no clue where the pin was on the screen, so I just aimed my body for the green and wished for the best of luck. And you can barely see me, but I ended up being pin high.
I'm super happy with that.
I was super happy with those 2 putts, as I was not able to see the line on my ball. I now have 2 holes left to play, still 3 under. I am here squatting down, checking my club face to see if it's aligned good with the ball, and this is hole number 17, a 380-yard par 4. This ball felt really good, but it ended up being in the left rough with about 120 yards. I was aiming at these 2 trees with a little bit of a trap draw up the hill. Put it a little bit back in my stance to really hook it around this tree, hopefully onto the green. This shot felt pretty good, and it landed on the front of the green, and for some reason my first video of me putting didn't load, but this is my par putt after my birdie attempt. I I could barely see my putter facing the ball, so I am ecstatic after making that putt. Without the flash on my dad's camera, this is my view from the 18th tee box of the clubhouse. The 18th hole is a par 4 that plays about 397 yards. Hole number 1 is to the left, and there is a road leading to the clubhouse on the right.
Oh yeah. That is right down the middle.
So obviously that one felt very good, and it was in the middle of the fairway. This is my view of the 18th green and clubhouse. I had about 115 yards left, which is my 50 degree, but when selecting my 50 degree, I discovered that I left it at my house. So I just select a pitching wedge and hit a knockdown shot to the middle of the green.
Let's go.
Damn, hole high.
No way.
Yeah, hole high,
My
man.
pitch.
That's a grind right there. Believe it.
The reason why I was saying let's go is because I thought I pushed this thing into the bunker on the right, but it was pin high. That putt for birdie was one of the most disappointing putts I had of the round, and I left myself with a lot of meat on the bone for par. I ended up sinking it to grab my par on the last hole. What a round to record for the coaches. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it provided enough information to get a gist of where my golf game's at. Now, I don't typically shoot 3 under per 9 holes, but that's only a matter of time.